Hello everybody, it's the Historical Gamer once again, and today we're returning to our look at Strategic Command, World War II, World at War. It is February of 1944. The Germans are on the verge of taking the Soviet capital as well as their final fallback capital. So Perm and Kuybyshev both will probably fall as soon as the weather turns and we stop getting the winter weather penalty against our armored units, and we have free reign to use our air units, although we did have a good turn last turn for our air units. But the Soviet Union has both capitals that are on the verge of falling, barring some very successful counterattacks, which is certainly possible, but doesn't seem terribly likely at the moment. We have advanced to the gates of Stalingrad in the south. The Caucasus has fallen to the Soviets. We're on the verge of taking Iran, and Syria has joined the war for the Axis and has just taken the capital of Palestine in Jerusalem. Meanwhile, the Americans have finally started their counterattack for the Allies and have taken Sicily and are starting to try and push up the boot, but so far haven't gotten very far. I'm a little worried if they try and land behind our lines at like Naples, but that's a threat I guess we just kind of have to be willing to take at the moment. We do have troops that are on the coast at Genoa and Rome to prevent an early withdrawal of Italy from the war. We're also very weak in Europe, so if the Americans begin the cross-channel invasion anytime soon, then we're screwed there. We did just deploy one army to Germany, so we do have that. And actually, I completely forgot about our force at Memel. We've got an army unit there, which is, I believe, a level 2. Yep, 2-2. So, I want to bring them forward also. How do I want to play this? I think what we'll do is we'll move these guys over here, this unit here, and then I'm going to try and rail them immediately into the battle for the Soviet capital, because my objective next turn is to knock the Soviets out of the war. So I want to have as many strong troops nearby as possible to accomplish that. And taking the final two Soviet capitals should help go a long way, if not completely, toward knocking the Soviets out of the war. Also, advanced fighters 3. Advanced Fighter 3 are over there already. We just destroyed a British army in Denmark, so I'm assuming the cross-channel invasion's coming soon, but we'll have to wait and see. Meanwhile, in the Pacific, we've already destroyed more than 4 American aircraft carriers and 3 battleships. We have a British aircraft carrier bottled up near Darwin, and we've destroyed 3 or 4 Allied units in amphibious vehicles, although the British, or I guess the Australians, just successfully took Timor back from us and liberated it and returned it to the Dutch. Last turn, we actually destroyed 3 American destroyer units as well, which should help weaken their force in the Pacific in addition. Meanwhile, the invasion of Burma is going reasonably well. The British have 1 unit left at Mandalay, which probably will be destroyed next turn if things fall right. And in China, the British are kind of falling back, or not as aggressive here in southern China due to the fall of Burma. I think they're slowly starting to fall back to India there. In northern China, the Chinese nationalists are making one final serious effort at resisting us. Just to the east of Umrichi, which is their final capital, they've established a fairly strong defensive line here. We'll have to see how that plays out. I think they have 2 air units that can intercept our bombers, but we are starting to shift our air force back to the north to try and sort of prepare for the final push. And that's the situation right now. So I think what we're actually going to do is we're going to go ahead and end this turn because we've already issued all our orders, and we'll see how things play out as we move into March of 1944. German corps is suffering attrition damage. That guy's probably dead next turn. Palestine surrenders. Germany gets 14 MPPs. Not a lot from Palestine. All the minor allies like Syria, the partisans, or the capture of cities by minor allies go to the primary Axis power, which is the Germans. In Europe, anyway. Obviously, the Asian allies all respond to Japan. And Italy doesn't really get anything from the minor allies. Okay, so we'll see how things play out here. The Italians are still hanging on in northern Africa, just barely. We'll see if the Soviets pull back toward Perm at all. Their carrier is moving out. Interesting. The Soviets still have naval units, but I don't think they actually have any infantry that are bordering any of the provinces that they could actually bring out to do like an amphibious invasion behind our lines. Potentially they could do that for the unit in Sevastopol and land behind us in the Caucasus, but that would probably be a foolish thing to do. Oh, shit. American aircraft carriers are bombing troops in northern France. We just spotted amphibious vehicles as well. This might be it, guys. This might be the cross-channel invasion. American destroyers are showing up in the Bay of Biscay. Off the coast of Holland. Is this it? These are British troops here in amphibious vehicles. Is this the cross-channel invasion? American battleships showing up behind us at Java. Large American naval forces. I don't know where these guys came from. We had kind of... I thought we had... Holy shit! There's a lot of them. Are they escaping from around the corner of Australia? I don't know. This could be a bad turn, guys, if they start going amphibious on us. I mean, I think we could still knock Russia out before they fully liberate France, but it'll be tough. Massive counterattacks to the south of Kuybyshev. Just destroyed an Italian unit there. It doesn't really matter. That Italian unit is not going to be participating in the attack on Kuybyshev. So... Alright, major counterattacks to the west of Stalingrad. They did drive back that Hungarian or Romanian army, whichever it was. Meanwhile, Chinese are attacking our troops here near their new defensive line. They did some damage, but I think our troops held their own. Meanwhile, they're counterattacking our infantry to the east of Kuybyshev. Which, again, doesn't, I think, play at all into... I don't think it's going to factor into the battle. A lot of whether we can successfully knock Russia out of the war this turn, though, is going to come down to depending on the air. If our bombers can fly, great. If it's muddy or, you know, we've got bad terrain or not terrain, but if we've got, you know, if it's muddy and we can't move, then it won't really matter. So I guess I was just making the assumption that we would have a good turn because I was thinking March is spring, but spring could bring rain and mud. Or it could bring clear skies, or it could still be snowy that far north in Russia. Hopefully the weather is favorable for us. I'm really thinking the Americans are going to be landing in France. There have been a few minor landings. I mean, that's something to consider. There have been a few... raids, if you will, against us. It's snowing right now, but it's still February. But there have been a few. The British landed an army in Denmark, and they landed an army in two armies in Norway. We destroyed one of the armies in Norway, and we destroyed one of the armies in Denmark. They also landed in Holland as well, and we destroyed that army. But in none of those landings were there major naval assets that were spotted. They just kind of came out of nowhere. So when we see multiple, you know, carriers and whatnot, and they're bombing the continent, either it's preparatory to the invasion occurring in a turn or two, or the actual invasion is about to occur. So we'll see. There's the American carrier, the destroyer mining the Bay of Biscay. That'll have an impact on our trade. Now, Russian units are suffering some attrition here. Partisan activity in China. Soviet partisans. What the fuck? Allies are blockading the Bay of Biscay. There's a partisan unit in our rear. That's kind of concerning because that's near Moscow. First army destroyed. Intelligence in Russia. British units in Iraq. Iraq must be reasonably guarded. Meanwhile, Japan just had a mechanized unit and an aircraft carrier become available for deployment. So that's nice. The Tahoe. Alright, so the Americans didn't invade France yet. I'm kind of... I guess there was a partisan unit there that I didn't even think of. I don't think Moscow's at risk. Let's do this. Let's move these guys back this way. Alright, so that guy just destroyed that. Meanwhile, their armor's not in great shape. So we just... I mean, we destroyed one of the units. We're pulling this guy back. I don't think the partisans can get to Moscow. We'll launch these kind of spoiling attacks against some of their units, hoping that it prevents them from attacking. It is still snowing. Jesus. Snowing everywhere. I don't think either of these places are going to fall this turn. Actually, maybe Perm will. That's some pretty good odds there. Defensive artillery, but you do no good, defensive artillery. We got him! Yes. All right. So the second capital is ours. Perm is ours. I don't think I'm going to be able to take their capital, though. I'm going to try and bombard them with artillery. That should knock out their entrenchments. It does. But artillery isn't as effective as... Okay. Yeah, okay, so we won't successfully take it this turn, but we did take one of the two capitals, and I doubt the Soviets will be strong enough to counterattack. Alright, we're going to reinforce some of these units, since we've got the turn. That is a little bit concerning, though, because, you know, presumably that means that the invasion of France could start very soon. The main question is, where are they going to come ashore? This seems to imply in southern France. There's a... they're starting to... I don't know. They could come across the historical landing routes, which would be problematic, too. I think we can... These guys can't even reinforce. They're gonna die. These Soviet troops are without supply by the looks of it. Granted, so is this armor. Alright. They're going to get back into supply at the end of this turn, aren't they? Whatever. Okay, so... Here's the other thing, is I have more troops crammed into this narrow area than I can do anything with. So we may start railing some of these guys back as is. Alright, so we're going to reinforce these air units, and then they're going to pound the hell out of the Soviet capital as soon as they can. Okay. Alright. So we'll hopefully get their capital next turn. We're going to bomb Tehran. They have some entrenchments, but those will go away.
This guy isn't on a rail line, otherwise... Well, actually, we could... But he's shitty. Is there a good level 2 we can pull away? Swing these guys west to France. Okay. Reinforce these guys. I don't know if I want to pull another one of these units away. Actually... do that. We can rail these guys west. I'm just trying to be tactical about who I pull out and who I move where. So we've moved 3 infantry units into France to prepare for the invasion. We did suffer some readiness and morale penalties, but their morale and readiness overall was high on these units. We're going to move this to La Spezia to prevent them from being able to just easily land. We'll reinforce this garrison unit. Continue to hopefully hamper the American effort. Okay. Move him to Bari. It's a little bit more shielding. Can these guys move? They can move to the border of the Syrian capital. So we might be able, or sorry, of Jordan. So we might be able to knock Jordan out of the war next turn. We'll see. They may retake Jerusalem or threaten Damascus. We'll see. Meanwhile, these guys can probably destroy Tehran. And... Alright, so we took Tehran from the British. Yeah, I'm going to move this mechanized guy away, because there's no reason for him to still be here. Partisans... I think maybe we move these guys to Baku. I don't know, we'll have to figure out. But Iran should fall to us, and then we could drive into British Iraq and threaten these units here that are in our rear next turn. That mech unit will move somewhere. Don't know where yet. We could try and focus on reducing Sevastopol, too. That's another option. Meanwhile, moving to the Pacific. Let's see about finishing off Mandalay. Okay, we succeeded there. Do we want to threaten India or not? I don't know, but we did finish the pocket there in Burma. It's still snowing in the north. Let's reinforce these guys. How do these guys not have supply? Alright, Langkow. Alright, I think we can bomb some of these units. Someone's got to be able to fly, right? No? Not at all? Okay. Reinforce them or not. So it doesn't look like the mobility perk is going to benefit those guys very much. At least not yet. Upgrade them to ground attack, to long range 2. Naval weaponry is a nice upgrade doesn't do much. We can upgrade these guys to ground attack 2 and long range 2. Might as well do naval attack 2. Advanced level 3 fighters. These guys are going to be ground attack 2. These guys, long range 2. Alright, so we upgraded our Air Force there. Actually, let's also move these guys north. I don't think I did anything with... Alright, that guy... Good. Okay. Huh. He's in trench 3. Maybe that's why he's such a pain in the ass. Okay. Where do we want these garrison units? Pull him back. Move him forward. Increase the mobility. Maybe they can actually advance. And can they operate anywhere meaningful? No. So there's no point in doing that. Alright, so we'll leave those guys as is, and then we'll take a look. The American battle fleet is apparently coming out to play. I don't know much about if they've got much in the way of any carriers left. Our carrier air wings have been kind of beaten up a bit. But we've still got a couple of carriers here that are pretty strong. The Kaga being one of them, which just launched those air raids. The Zuiho. We'll bomb this cruiser. Kill him. Kill that battleship. Airwing did lose something. Jesus, is the whole American battle fleet coming out to play? I don't think I've got much left. This guy's got a strike asset, but wow, one aircraft can do that? So, no more planes, but they did their job. Let's pull these carriers back. Maybe we can get them into some reports or ports where they can do a little bit of repair. Because they definitely need a breather. That's for sure. Alright, we'll move the battleships forward. 4 and 4. That's not the trade I wanted, but it didn't pan out that bad. Alright, we finished it off. But we lost pretty heavy casualties. 30% chance of doing no... Oh. No damage. Like, what's the point? Why would I do that then? I just don't know where the American ships are. Alright, there don't appear to be any over there. Are there more out this way? Or was that the whole fleet that we just saw and nearly annihilated? Oh my god! Landing craft! What is this? The 2nd Marine Division? No! They evaded the damage. Shit. We just detected another one. The 3rd Marine Division. Nah, they evaded damage too! Ugh. That's horrible. 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 Can these guys hit them? Got him! Yes! Just destroyed another American Marine Division at sea and crippled another, at least. We didn't finish both off, but hardy har, we did some damage. Alright, so more disasters for the American Navy at sea. 1 division destroyed, 1 division badly damaged, and what, like 4 warships destroyed? If we look at their actual naval power, they're down to 23 units, so they've lost 7 in the last 2 turns. And that's rapidly weakening their force. They still have a very strong land force, so if they get ashore in Europe, we're in trouble. That's 58 units, all of high quality, and the British have 58 as well. Granted, I think a lot of those are like Commonwealth troops. The Soviets are down to 57 and might be out of the war soon. One would hope. So yeah, that's good, I guess. I'm curious, like, what else the Allies might have at bay. There's still one carrier here, the Indomitable, based out of Darwin. But, I don't know where she's going to go. She could try and repair there. 242. What is that for? What's the second ring there? Does it tell me? Advanced fighters. They're on level 4 fighters. Yikes. Yeah, I would much rather blow it up with battleships than in that event. But yeah. So, you know, maybe we move the headquarters up to Mandalay. The question is, do we invade India? And go for Delhi and bypass all these troops, or do we try and go for the rear? I think we try and go for the rear. I think we want to destroy these guys in the south here. That'll free up a whole bunch of troops over here for the invasion of India, or to finish off China. So next turn will be April. We'll see if the Americans land, if they feel they're ready to land or not, or the British as well. We do have quite a few, I mean, not quite a few, but we definitely strengthened ourselves in France. We added 3 ground units, and we've got a 4th Nancy, which is currently there for partisan reasons. Can we upgrade these guys to... No, we can't. Germany, 307 points. Diplomacy, is there anyone else we can try and convince to join the Axis? Syria joined. Do we even want Vichy France to join our side? Like, is that something we would want? Yeah, I don't know. Saudi Arabia's leaning allies. I'd rather not have another enemy in the Middle East, but I'm not too worried if they do join them. Spain, maybe? How expensive are they? 50 MPPs? Would add a long coastline for us to defend, though. Sweden? Already lost Finland. Honestly, I'd rather just save the money, so I think I'm going to do that. So we research something. Can Italy invest in anything? Their infantry weapon research is ongoing. Their, yeah. Germany's investing as much as they can in advanced fighters and advanced tanks to go to level 4 on each. Infantry weapons is already maxed out. We could invest a little bit more in industrial technology, which I think helps our economy, so we'll do that. We're already maxed on logistics. 150 left for naval and amphibious warfare, but we're not going to end up having enough resources for that. Ground attack weapons? Well, I don't have enough money left for that. Advanced subs? I don't have any. I have 1 sub left. Anti-tank weapons, maybe? That'll just make our infantry better at anti-tank, so we could go for that. Yeah, so I think that's going to do it for this turn. So we're through March. Next turn will be April. Iran will fall. I don't know if there's a partisan rising in Iran or not. It doesn't look like it. So it looks like we could start to potentially either invade Iraq or India, depending on the direction we want to go with that. We may need to invade Iraq just to secure our flank. Maybe we just stick, if there's no other troops in here, maybe we stick the Syrian troops here at the gateway to Cairo. I'm not sure. There's obviously an allied bomber unit there that kind of hampered them.
But Jordan might fall in a turn or so as well. So overall, a very interesting and I think effective turn for us, but we'll have to see how things play out going forward. So we didn't defeat the Russians like we hoped. They had some pretty strong counterattacks the turn before. So we'll have to hope they don't have the same level of success next turn. My hope is that they're diverting toward these Hungarian troops here in the south, which are very good troops. And then maybe we'll get some good weather to launch some counterattacks or to finish off Kubyshev. We really need that air force that we just buffed up to be able to be used. Be great for them to be able to be used, but, you know, we need that. All right, we did take the other capital, though, so the Soviets should fall apart once Kubyshev falls. A hope. And we'll see how these partisans affect things. We really just freed up 2 infantry units up here in the north as well with the destruction of that infantry unit. So, yeah. Maybe we'll take Parnu next turn. Maybe not. We'll see. Supply situations may be relieved if the troops at Talon move forward. But, yeah. Hope you guys are enjoying the series. And until next time, this is the Historical Gamer saying thank you for watching. And what do I want to do? Thank you for watching. What should we do? Do we advance here? Advance 1? Could. But we'll figure that out. Actually, we did forget about Argentina, didn't we? Hey, look, no accomplishments in Argentina. Argentina took Sao Paulo. They took Porto Alegre. They were reasonably helpful for us for a while. But not so much anymore. Maybe if we move these guys forward, it'll help. We'll see. All right, guys. Until next time, this is the Historical Gamer saying thank you for watching, and I'm out.